Our video project is a social movement analysis of Fairtrade International. Specifically, we will be targeting the perceptions of fair trade held by the general public. We want to show how widespread some incorrect perceptions on fair trade are and their implications for the success of fair trade. First, we will be introducing the fair trade movement, including its goals and target audience. Afterwards, we'll be discussing the findings and conclusions about barriers to fair trade and how they affect its efficiency, found in a research study done by Fairtrade International. We'll also show the results of our own informal survey that we did on the same barriers, and challenge some of your perceptions on fair trade. Finally, we'll discuss some broad solutions to these barriers. Fairtrade International is a global justice movement, meaning it is highly heterogeneous, incorporating multiple movements and identities but converging around opposition to the institutions of global capitalism and support of the right of peoples to determine their own future. The Fairtrade International website lists 3 goals as part of their mission. They are to promote fair trading conditions, to connect disadvantaged producers and consumers, and to empower producers to combat poverty, strengthen their position, and take control of their lives. Fairtrade International's programming targets 4 different groups of people. Their target audience includes workers. These are the laborers, people like farmers and artisans who directly produce fair trade products. Smallholders. These are independently owned farms, not operated by large agricultural companies. Companies facilitate the sales and promotion of fair trade products. And citizens. Citizens have the power to support fair trade workers, smallholders, and companies by buying fair trade. Consumers from the general population are an important part of fair trade because they purchase the items and therefore create the demand for fair trade products. However, there are some major barriers to fair trade purchasing, especially in the perceptions that consumers have of fair trade. These perceptions have a negative effect on fair trade as they reduce the purchasing of fair trade products overall. If people believe fair trade products are unaffordable or unavailable, they are not very likely to buy them, even if they believe in the mission of fair trade. 42% of Canadians say products with the Fairtrade International logo are too expensive. In a report published by Fairtrade International, they state that perceived cost and availability continue to be important barriers to fair trade purchasing. The percentage of Canadians who claim products with the Fairtrade International logo aren't available where they shop is 34%. We asked friends and family to do a 3-question survey concerning their perceptions of price, availability, and the branding of fair trade. Take a moment to answer these questions yourself. Name all the places in Winnipeg that you think you can purchase any type of fair trade product. Websites like Fairtrade Manitoba and Fairtrade Canada show that there's over 100 places selling different fair trade products in Winnipeg alone. Products include everything from coffee and chocolate to flowers and clothing. Now, think about this. A non-fair trade, high-quality 100-gram chocolate bar costs approximately $3.99 at a normal drugstore or grocery store. What do you believe the price of a high-quality fair trade chocolate bar of the same size would be? A fair trade chocolate bar of the same size is $4.60, less expensive than any of the guesses we had in our survey. Friends and family often had misconceptions about the price and availability of fair trade, which is in line with the findings of the study. You can see that in general, fair trade is much more available and less expensive than people believe. Then we asked people to try to draw the fair trade logo. We got some interesting responses to our last question, and in general, people did not know what the fair trade logo looked like at all. We think that the best solution to these misconceptions is the widespread awareness of correct fair trade information. This can be accomplished in a variety of ways, through the education system, commercial awareness campaigns, or by getting consumers to empathize with the people involved in the production process. Fairtrade International urges consumers to connect the producers and the production process to the product itself. This frame extension can also help spread awareness about the real prices and availability of fair trade by getting consumers interested and invested in fair trade. As we've seen, people's perceptions of fair trade, like the cost and availability of products, is a major barrier to the success of the movement. The study released by Fairtrade and our own survey have both shown that people commonly overestimate costs and underestimate availability. We believe that awareness and education can be the solution.